Alright, welcome back, and you're here with Mr. Canada. We're looking at negative indices. So here, it's when we have in the form of x to the power of negative a power. So that could be, say, 2 to the negative 3. And we want to rearrange this to help us simplify. So we can represent this, actually, as 1 over 2 to the 3. So this negative, you can see it as almost being this fraction part right here. Okay? So just make sure, hey, you see this negative, we can write it as a reciprocal. So this is where it comes from. So it comes from the division law, just like our special case before. But if we have a divided by a squared, that is a to the 1 minus 2, which is a to the negative 1. But also, if we use the other representation of the division law, so a divided by a squared is a, like the fractional form, over a, then we can cancel out an a on top, a on the bottom, and just put 1 over 1, right? We can just write 1 and 1, so it simplifies to 1 over 1 times a, which is a. So 1 over a. So a to the negative 1 is equal to 1 over a. So we've proved exactly what we said at the top. So we're going to rewrite this with a positive index. So here that just means 1 over 2 cubed. Okay. We want to write this one with a positive index. Well, how are we going to do that? We have, well, let's simplify, right? Let's write this as y to the negative 3 plus negative 2 is y to the negative 5. And then we can write that as 1 over y to the 5. So up till now, that's kind of been a little bit boring. Where can we actually do a little bit of cool simplifying with this? Well, something a little bit more complex like this. Combination of power laws and negative indices. So, first off, let's get rid of this index on the outside and bring the power law in. Okay? So, involve some prior knowledge before doing this one. So, we are just going to write 18x cubed, and then here we're timesing by, well, that's 3 squared, and then times by x to the minus 4. Now, at this point, you could choose to make this x to the minus 4 as a reciprocal, or you could choose to work with it with the multiplication law. Because we see this right here, right, as x to the 3 and x to the minus 4. That will be 18 times 9, right? And then x times by x to the 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So here we're going to find, well, 18 times 9, what are we going to get? 162. 162 x to the minus 1. Right? And then, so if we wanted, that did simplify, but if we wanted, we could actually still write it as 162 divided by x. So, here are 9 questions for you to give a go at. For the ones with the low power, try and work out an actual number, see what you can get. If you can't, don't worry, just simplify them. So, give it a go. Once you're ready, press play, and we'll go through the answers. Okay, so here, we're writing this one with positive indices. All we can do is 1 over x to the power 4. Here, we can write that as 1 over 3 squared. And if we want to take it, we can take 1 over 9. Right? This one, here we're taking negative, and then we're going 1 over 3 squared, which is negative 1/9. So make sure you're not doing anything. That negative is left alone. Here, we're doing negative 1 over 3 cubed, which is negative 1 over 27. See how I'm leaving that negative upstairs in the numerator? That's just a convention. So here we have x to the negative 3 minus 2, which is x to the negative 5, which is equal to 1 over x to the 5. Okay. Next one, well, that is just going to tell us that we have 4 minus x 2 minus, right? Which really we didn't have to do that because we're just going to state that as 1 over 4x squared. And so all we could really say if we wanted 0.25x to 2 minus. Lots of different ways you could simplify that, but that one doesn't really change form too much. Depends what they're asking. With a positive index, you just leave it with the 1 over 4x squared. This next one, we have 3 to the 2 minus, right? X to the 4 minus. So what that's going to actually look like, and we have a y. So we'll have y over 3 squared, which is, we can leave that as 3 squared for now. And then x to the 4. But I'm actually going to take that and write it as y over 9x to the power of 4. Getting rid of the indice on the number. Looks a little cleaner. So 16 over 2 is 8. And then, well, x minus 2 minus negative 2 is just x to the 0. So 8 x to the 0, which is 8. And lastly, we have this negative 2x. So we could have negative 2. And that's all to the power of 3. And then we have this x to the power of negative 6. So we can actually write that as negative 8, right? Because it's an odd power for 3. So we keep that negative over x to the power of 6.